This general office update is posted as a reminder of recent changes to the part-time medical practice of Dr. John Craven. The last few months have been unusual for us all. You are aware that I have been working this summer from a remote setting offering virtual private methadone maintenance. Everyone has now been informed that my office has moved out of the 528 Dundas building and will now function entirely from this new setting. The small number of changes already implemented to the policies and routine of the office will now continue indefinitely. A lockable container must be brought into pharmacy in order to pick up any carry doses. No exceptions will be made to this policy, and which should now be routine for all clients and who will be wise to ensure that their carries are secured at all times. Carry doses cannot and will not be increased in this new office setting. If you miss 3 or more days of your methadone dose, you will need to restart your treatment in another office. This office has not undertaken treatment restarts since this policy change was first explained in January of 2020. Methadone prescriptions are renewed on a monthly basis. The renewal of your prescription is based on a monthly reassessment now undertaken by telephone or video connection. Dr. Craven will continue to be available each Tuesday daytime and Saturday mornings. Any client in the office may request telephone contact during any open clinic time by text messaging your name to the office reception number at 226-219-5805. Once monthly, on a Tuesday or Saturday morning of the first, second, or third week of each month, and as agreed upon with each client, Dr. Craven's office will text message a reminder that it is your scheduled day to contact Dr. Craven for your prescription reassessment. You are strongly advised to message your name back that same day and when you are free to receive a telephone call at a time convenient for you. Please remember to be in a quiet, private location for this conversation. No further reminder messages will be sent out in the same month. If you do not make time to connect with Dr. Craven on the same day as you receive your reminder message, it will be your responsibility to connect with the office on the next or another open clinic day. All telephone reassessments are scheduled for completion during the first 3 weeks of each month. Prescription renewals will be completed for the last week of each month. All prescription or pharmacy changes must be undertaken during open office hours. Any such messages otherwise communicated will be reviewed on the next open clinic day. Probably due to the recent increase in faxed prescriptions, it is becoming increasingly difficult to know how long it will take your prescription to reach your pharmacy by fax. It is for this reason that it is important the office complete all telephone reassessment interviews during the first 3 weeks of the month, and to thereby allow time at the end of the month for all prescriptions to be received at your pharmacy. Each prescription from Dr. Craven's office is faxed and refaxed as may be necessary until a return receipt confirms that your prescription has been received at your pharmacy. If you have neglected to be in telephone contact with Dr. Craven during the first 3 weeks of the calendar month, you will find that your prescription has expired by the last week of the month. You will then need to request a callback from Dr. Craven during regular office hours and at a time when you are in a quiet and private location. Do not contact Dr. Craven's office from inside your pharmacy or when you are rushed or pressured for time. The last few months of this summer have been a transition phase in helping clients to become accustomed to these changes in office routine. It is expected that not all clients will find the new routines to their preference. Dr. Craven has let the intake service at 528 Dundas know that any clients in his office who request transfer to another physician may do so at any time. Dr. Craven is also available to advise you on the availability of other physicians and programs in the city and who may agree to assume your prescription. But otherwise, if you neglect to contact the office during the first 3 weeks of the calendar month and allow your prescription to expire at the end of any month, this will be interpreted as indication of lifestyle instability, and for reasons of safety, your prescription will be renewed by Dr. Craven with a reduced level of carry doses for the next month and afterwards. Lifestyle stress, being overly rushed, or preoccupied with other matters, will not be accepted as an excuse to ignore the needs of your recovery treatment. In fact, these are all indications of need to better attend to the simple and basic needs of your addiction recovery. To maintain your prescription with this office and without issue, 3 things are most important. Keep your carry doses locked and secure at all times. Maintain monthly telephone contact with Dr. Craven. And keep yourself well, as most of you have already managed during your several years in this office. Ask for help when you need, but do not accept prescriptions for other opiate or benzodiazepine drugs without consulting Dr. Craven. You are reminded that I have posted several dozen audio, video, and written documents on a YouTube channel and Facebook page, both named John Craven, MD. These freely available publications are easy to access and contain everything I know about addiction recovery. They are derived from traditional recovery learnings and offer all necessary guidance on how to care for yourself, approach life, and respond to its many challenges. Complacency is sometimes an issue in later recovery. A simple, fixed routine of self-care and recovery activities will be a foundation for your recovery during good times and bad. But you are reminded again that the risk to any other person who might wrongly take your medication has not changed. The result may be grave, and complacency has no place in the secure management of your carry doses. I will not assume unnecessary risks with methadone carry doses and strongly encourage you to not do so either. Always take your medication directly home from pharmacy. It is your prescription, and it is your health and life that may be dependent on safely maintaining it. Finally, this fall and winter may prove a challenging time. Always deal with the simple needs of your recovery treatment first. Everything else may be dependent on this principle. Keep things simple, face the challenges of the day one step at a time, and ask for help before a crisis builds. Most of us are going to get through the different times of this pandemic if we keep our priorities straight and do what we need to do on a day-to-day basis. So take care, stay safe, ask any questions when we speak, and play this message over again until you are certain that you understand each sentence and every instruction.